Aloha! Great job today. So the concept here is this is an E, and then the top note is an E as well. Our one string, high one and low six, are both E. Now the other bass string besides the sixth string is the fifth string. The fifth string is called an A string. That A string is one of the two bass strings. So I kind of see the guitar as having four strings and two superfluous strings, which are our bass movements. If that makes sense, we kind of use the shape to play the chord and then the two bass notes to alter around what we're doing with that rhythmically. Cool. So after an A, we would have a D string. When we're trying to tune, we quite literally can do our first lesson exercise, the spider exercise, work our fingers up the first fret, second fret, third fret, and the fourth fret. And then the note that is played on the fifth fret of the E string should be the same note as the open A string above it. We can fine tune those at this point if we need or with a tuner. Same thing goes on the A string. We would have a, actually let's give the names of these in case you had mentioned that if you want to. E goes to F, F goes to F sharp or G flat. They're both the same note. They're enharmonic equivalences, meaning same note, different name. The next note is going to be a G, so E, F, F sharp or G flat, G, G sharp or A flat, thusly giving us A. Our open string is A. Our first fret is going to be an A sharp or a B flat because it's not a B or an E. B goes to C, E goes to F. So A sharp or a B flat goes to a B, and then B goes to C. C thusly goes to C sharp. Then the next, or a D flat, and then the next note would be a D note, as the next string would be open. So D to D. Notice how I was a little flat there and I tuned? When we go to the G string, we would do the same thing. G would go to G sharp, then it would go to, or G sharp, A flat, and then A. Our A would go up to an A sharp or a B flat. This would be our B, and the reason why we're just gonna be playing this one here on this D string, it's gonna go all the way up. So we have D, D sharp or E flat, E, E goes to F, F goes to F sharp or G flat, and just like down here, it goes up to a G, thusly here. So you can tell that the low note on the third fret and then the high note on the fifth fret at the D string, they're both G notes. G, G, F sharp or G flat, F, F, E, E. So comparison means that the chord of today would have an E note in it and your finger would be on it. Thusly, we do note associations with the fretboard. When going on the G string, we would have a G sharp or an A flat, A, B flat or an A sharp, and then a B. Now on the G string, we only go up the four notes. Because if we went up the fifth from the B to the C, that next note would mean that the next string should be a C, and it is not. It is a B note. Thusly, we have got to use this as being a 1, 2, 3, 4 B to tune, and then revert back to a 5-note stretch on the B string to get your high E string. When I get in tune and I know that all my notes are kind of in tune, I play an E major to see if I'm sounding correct, which is why E major is your first chord. We play the third string, 1, 2, 3, on the first fret to get a G sharp. That is the major third of this chord. The root is the E, which is the 1. So we've got our 1, our 3. Second finger and third finger are gonna play the second fret on the A and the D string. So the 5 and the 4 string. Those 3 notes pressed down plus the 3 notes that are open give us an E, A, E, G sharp, B, and then another E. What I like to do is do a rake picking to make sure I'm in tune and that all of those notes came out crystal clear without any vibration, fuzz, or just dead muted notes. If you get a note which does not come through, it's either you're not playing in the middle of the fret, you're playing on a metal fretting, or you're not just pressing hard enough. Try it again, try it with multiple fingers, you'll get there. So that would take us to the point of knowing what all the notes and the names are. E, A, D, G, B, and E. The number of the strings, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It explained that majors and minors are based off of a 1-3-5 system, that majors are 1-3-5, and that minors are 1-flat-3-5. The concept is if we play any note, let's pick 5th fret, like we did in our session, and we go up a half step, that now makes it an A sharp, B, B sharp or C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, E sharp or F, F sharp, G, so on and so forth. When we go down, we're going flat. So we'd have like an E, or let's start from the 5th. A flat or G sharp, G, G flat, F, F flat, it's an E. So as we said, we can call these anything, but the enharmonic equivalents are just used when we're talking about the notes that are not B sharp, which is a C, or E sharp, which is an F. Cool. So concept here, I'm going to name out all the notes again. Follow along for fretboard knowledge. If not, this isn't needed. Open E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp. Those are all the notes on 1-3-4, including open notes. Hope that's cool. I'm going to do it backwards now and show you all the flats. I've got A flat, G, G flat, F, F flat or E. What is this? E flat, D, D flat, C, C flat, which is a B. B, we have a B flat, A flat, G, G flat, F, F flat, which is an E. We're gonna have a E flat, D, D flat, C, C flat, which is a B. We're gonna have a B flat, A flat, G, G flat, F, F flat, or an E. Those are all the sharps and flats going back up. Just because we were talking about it, maybe it would be kind of cool. I generally don't put that in a first video, but I think you'd like it. If you're going to be doing your spider exercises and you want to see what they are, do it. So spiders, downstroke, 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 downstroke. Move a finger up, downstroke, 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 downstroke. Start off at this beat with all downstrokes and eventually move till you get the rhythm about right here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Wherever you go, try and get the beat up to here doing all downstrokes. These do nothing but make our fingers a little bit stronger. Keep our thumb up right here and not going up the headstock. And it keeps our elbow from going into our crotch, because every time I see it, I'll go, bark, 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 and I'll have you take a deep breath, shake out your funky chicken, try it again. Cool? Next exercise, not the teeter-totters, not the spider exercise, but the teeter-totters. Teeter-totters take our new chord of the day, the first finger on the 3rd, 1, 2, 3 string, the G string to make a G sharp, second finger on the A string at the 2nd fret to make a B note, and then 3rd finger on the 4th fret, 2nd fret, 4th string, the D string, to make an E note. When we have the E, B, E, G sharp, B, and E, we have an E major. When we remove our first finger, we get an E minor. Thusly, that 1-3-5 is a now 1-flat-3-5 because we took away the sharp on the G and made it a G natural. We'll go more into depth about chords and why, but the takeaway from here is C major has no sharps and flats. When I say C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, I don't say C, C double sharp, C quadruple sharp, C. We do it through the eyes of the 7 letters. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Same reason why I don't go C, D, E, F, G, A, G, C. Even though we use this note as like the 5th of the chord, which will make sense later, I have to call it a B. I cannot call it even C, D, E, F, G, A, C flat, C. It just doesn't work saying it twice, because in normal English, I wouldn't say a word twice. It does its purpose as a singular word. Same thing with music. So when we see the concept of having 1 as a major, 2 as a minor, 3 as a minor, 4 as a major, 5 as a major, 6 as a minor, and then 7 as our diminished, each one of these seniority chords Major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, and major have a very specific purpose when playing a song. Little quick caveat. If we were playing, let's say, today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. By now you should have somehow realized what you gotta do. This is an E minor that has a 7th and a 9th over the top of it. When we keep this structure and play a G major chord, it just continues the chord, but now those two notes that were something in one chord are now something else in another chord. However, the feeling is that, oh, those notes belong in both chords. You're absolutely correct. E minor, and then moving that E minor to a G utilizing these chords just makes different chord. When we play our D major, but we have those two notes down, it makes a D sus4. A sus chord makes a chord feel like it's hovering above your head, and when we release it, it gives resolution. That's the only purpose of the 2 and the 4 inside of this 5-note structure. Triad, sus chords. We'll go over these concepts when we get a little bit more into it, but the concept behind this song that uses 4 chords, E minor, G major, D major, and C major, they're relative to each other in the fact that none of them are sharps or flats. They were all part of the key of C major. C major, D major is not. However, we use it as a key change modulation. I'll explain more about that later. Sometimes we use and borrow chords from different chords, which aren't in that original key. It's called a key change or a modulation. A lot of music does it flawlessly and you won't even recognize it because it's a fun thing to do. Okay, I think this is a lot of information, 10, 11, 12 minutes for the first video. Try and digest some of this. The constant takeaway is if you can take away 5 to 10% of what I say, blah, 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 you're doing great. Keep up with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 notes, and keep those consistent. So when we turn those all into upstrokes, our speed will develop and our idea of where notes are in correlation to each other. One thing that we didn't really discuss a whole lot about was the rhythm aspect, but the constant idea of playing your teeter-totters as being a 1, taking off a first finger, letting your hand go up, second finger goes to where the first finger was when you come on your first downbeat. When you go up again, you remove that second finger and place it down on your third beat, up on the fourth to bring your pinky onto the fretboard, and when you have your fourth beat laid down, you're coming up again to play that same E major chord on the 1. I'll give you an example with your E minor. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and E minor. 2 and 3 and 4 E minor. 2 and 3 and 4 E minor. 2 and 3 and 4 E minor. See how we're just moving the fingers to get the same chord, but we're playing it with different fingers? This helps when we take this same shape and move it anywhere and bar. It essentially allows us to use all the chords that we're learning as being mobile. Groovy? So the concept behind this is try and play your E major using your teeter-totters, switching one finger off, putting one where it was, and then play the chord in both fingering positions. E major, E major, E minor, E minor, E minor. Chords for the week, E major, E minor. Strumming pattern is just going to be all of them. If you could remember that the whole note is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and as soon as we get that a little faster, we just do our switches on the 1 and the 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Speed is not what we're going for. Making all the notes and then making the chord come out while in tempo, making rhythm is where it's at. I really enjoyed seeing you today. This was lots of fun. I'll see you next week. Aloha.